evening, and welcome to another edition of the Ohm Service Live with me, Mark. We've got BFJ Steve, and we've got Betty Dillygaff Porter with us all. Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody in the replay as well. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Well, before we go any further, I just want to give a shout out to a couple of people before I go any further. Aidan, my little brother, Adam from Retro TV, and Vic. What a fantastic show we had on Thursday. I so enjoyed it. And Vic, if you're watching, thank you for the big shout out that you gave me on your WhatsApp. It really, do you know something? It's really nice now and again to get that pat on the back, and I really felt that that was a proper pat on the back. So big thank you.
Don't enough. He won't get his head out the bloody door.
I know. I'm chuffed. Honestly, I was well chuffed. It was lovely. It was brilliant because Jan didn't know that I was going to get a shout out on the WhatsApp. So me and Jan was watching Vic, and she's busy doing like a crossword where you have to put the letters in. Weird crossword thing, very technical. And then obviously Vic started talking about me, and he was like, woo, woo, woo. So yeah, it was lovely. So it's nice to get a pat on the back.
He mentioned your name, Mark. He mentioned your name, Mark.
Yeah, it was lovely. So yeah, big shout out to me little bro, Adam and Vic. So big thanks, guys.
They've come for us.
I thought it was out there.
Yeah, it did sound like you were out from yours.
No, it's mine.
Damn.
So how are we both?
Fabulous, darling.
Good. I've just had my vaccine. I've just had my Pfizer. Didn't hurt.
Yeah.
You said your bum fell off.
For my bum.
Yeah. Well, that's what you said before we went live. You had your jag and your bum fell off. No, the bottom fell out of it. So I get confused. Then you were talking about somebody being battered on your back door.
No, that was when I was at work.
Oh.
We'd finished at 2:00, and I'm cashing up, and all of a sudden I got a banging on my back door.
So tonight's show's brought to you by Bill Gates.
Flashy, I probably am going to be a zombie. It's the Pfizer one I've had, so...
You'll just be hard. Bless you.
I'll tell you one thing, the place that I went to in Mexborough, which is far side of Doncaster, maybe it was Rotherham, that way out, they were really nice. Well organised as well. There were loads of people. Absolutely loads.
Oh, God.
I think there was something that today was announced in Scotland that the Boris is wanting to basically send the army and allow the army just to kind of speed the process up in Scotland. I don't know what the outcome was with it. I don't know.
Yeah, Nicky seems to be a bit slower than us.
Oh well. Not to worry.
Yeah, nanobots. Yeah, that's it. That's it. They're going to be able to track everything that I do now.
Yeah, that's what I said to you though. But I can't remember if it was here. But you need to watch now if you're going through a supermarket and you set the bloody alarms and shit off. Or you walk by the checkout and it goes beep. It only comes up. You're only worth $2.99.
Oh, it's priceless, darling.
Yeah.
With the pound shop.
Oh, yeah. No, sinner. No. No. Right. Shall we move swiftly onwards and do the participants?
It's alcohol, son. I'm not fucking needles.
Well, I mean, I've always said that I was patient zero, so...
Yeah, I know, and I think I've got the SoulOhms back.
And I haven't been near you.
But it's coming through the screen.
You were.
Yeah, well, we're not exactly 2 meters, are we?
Yeah, well, I'm one for what I've warned you now. If I mute my microphone, there's a reason.
Viking Vapor, thank you. Fist bump. I'll let BFG answer that one.
I refuse to on the grounds that I'm the nice one.
So, why does BFG look like a potato coming out of a volcano?
That's why.
And why does that bloke look like he's holding your nuts?
He is. In the span.
Roasting his nuts.
Hiya, Becky.
So we need to get to Mount Doom, Mr. Frodo.
So then, BFG, are you going to say hello to everyone?
Indeed, I shall, darling. Yes. So, good evening, Kevin K. 808. Aloha, dude. Bill Richards, good evening, darling. Bronco, how you doing? Chunkmeister, good evening, sir. The Lord of Lewdness, the God of the Gutter, the Saint of Sin is in. Making naughty needle comments. Bless him. Sinner! Dion, 78, good evening, sir. Fee, good evening. We've got Flashy, 1221.
Whoa, back up.
Yeah?
What happened to the Huggles?
Oh, sorry.
Hey.
Fee, sorry. Flashy 1221, good evening. Frankenmiser, dude. Future Noel, good evening, sir. Gaily Bops, Buggles. Gareth Freeride Vapor, good evening, sir.
Gareth.
We have the ever gorgeous Jules Mama Vapes. Hello. Buggles. Thoroughly enjoyed the Oxford review, Jules.
It was good. I enjoyed that.
John Cole, good evening. The gorgeous Kira's with us. Boss. Gaffer. Buggles. Mr. Anderson, good evening.
Mr. Anderson. I bet he's sick. Hang a minute. Mr. Anderson.
It's the smell.
Where's Rian gone? Oh, PavG, good evening. I know Rian's in, and I know Tammy's in, but she's doing emails in the back. So, Buggles to you both. We got Rowan Fletcher in. Good evening. UK Vape Star. Evening, dude.
Evening,
Got
dude.
UK Andy, the legend that is. Good evening, sir. The ever gorgeous Vapor Bunny.
Bunny!
Buggles.
Naked trees.
We got Vapor Queen Becky. Again. Buggles for the first time, I believe. And then we have that cheeky bugger Viking Vapor.
Big fist bump to Viking Vapor.
Evening, dude. Sack of spuds, cheeky sod.
Well, before we go any further, I think we ought to shout out Mark H. I don't know if he's in chat at the moment. He normally is. Now, Mark H has got his new channel. It's called markh.vs. I'm going to stick the link in now. So pop over and give him a sub.
And I missed one. Cody Vogler. Good evening. Getting the Unicorn Vapes Vert Mini Mech.
The Vert.
Has
I've heard good
anyone
things
here
about. I've
used
not
one?
had one, but I've heard good things about that.
Sinner, behave. Doing emails in the back. Bow chicka wow.
Pasty! We forgot Pasty.
Is Dawn in?
Buggles.
Hi, Dawn.
Hey, hiya, Dawn. Buggles.
Mr. Doyle's in now as well. Hi, Chris.
Hi, Chris.
You're late.
Yeah, but he
No.
had a VC call or a
He did.
Zoom call. So
He did.
He did prior warn us.
I must have, I did see that, yeah.
It's like a note from your mum.
Vapor Queen Becky. Hello. Huggles.
PUBG, hashtag never miss Pasty again. I wouldn't dare miss Dawn. Bless her. So, blimey, what a mad week it's been.
It's been
Anything-
interesting.
Well, yes. So, Stevie,
What?
anything new this week, dear boy?
No. Next.
Next. No prep work or anything?
Come on, Betty, you can't save all your material for your own show. You've got to share some with us.
Oh, aye. No.
Yeah, it's not all fit salves, you know what I mean?
Don't talk about anything, Savs. Just sit there like a lemon.
Puppies?
So he's talking about back doors earlier on, now you're talking about puppies. This show's just went straight to the gutter. It's downhill. I'm out of here. See you. I forgot with the puppies. Yeah, our little doggy had 2 pups earlier as a Sunday morning. Two little brown Shih Tzus. So yeah, so it's been pretty manic in here. The lack of sleep over the last couple of days has been horrendous.
How's Mummy?
She wasn't good yesterday. She was vomiting yesterday, but she's a hell of a lot better today. So.
Oh wow, Original Ross.
Hi Ross.
Big hello, first time viewer. Have a lovely evening, gents, and stay foggy. Big fist bump, thank you very much.
Cheers, Ross. Well, just in case, Ross, given you're a first time viewer, yes, we are a vape show, but we don't do pure vape, mate. Because
well, we do pure vape. Honestly, we do pure vape. We don't do anything else. Nothing else. Yes, we do pure vape.
Pure vape.
I think what BFG is trying to say is that we don't just talk about vaping.
No, we do all sorts. Anyway,
yeah, we talk about vaping every 12th show. Something crops up.
Along with the blunt, yeah.
Well, to be honest with you, at the present moment, going off with vaping, it is very, very quiet. As on our side of the pond, should we say. So,
It is. I mean, the only thing I spotted this week was the government have sent out, dear boy, because we talked about this way back in January. They've now launched a consultation about how effective the TRPR, the SPOT, which is a standardized packaging of tobacco, etc., are achieving their objectives, with a view to they will be looking at, as we've already talked about, reviewing the rules and regulations on vaping. So my second name is Trouble. Hello.
I like what Ross has just put. No refund option then.
just to let you know, Ross is a gentleman who's been in touch with me over the last couple of days. He's looking to buy his first party stand.
Oh, good lad.
Oh, nice one.
I can't think of much better stand to get than one of Stevie's.
So he's wanting one of the steampunk ones. So.
Oh, nice.
Oh.
Well, Ross, I tell you one thing, mate, you will not be disappointed. You will not. They are absolutely fantastic. And I'm not just saying that because Betty's here.
He is.
No, he's not.
Honestly.
I used Stevie's piston the other day to build the RBA deck on the Oxford, the little one. I'll tell you what, mate, I wouldn't have done it without, because I had enough problems getting the 510 adapter into it.
Yeah, it's a little bit of fiddly, isn't it?
A little bit. Jesus Christ.
It's fun.
I've got the reading glasses on and everything.
When I did mine for the first time, I've got one of them magnifying that's on a stand. It's got a bendy arm. I had to do that with mine with the glasses on. But saying that, the new version for the Velocity, that's a lot bigger.
Mm.
Yeah, you were saying.
Bigger.
So is that a two-poster of like the...
It's got 2 posts. It's still a single coil,
Right.
but it is a 2-poster.
Oh, nice. Because that's what the rebuildable deck for the Next Mesh Pro is. That's basically a dripper deck.
Oh, here we go. We've got visitors.
It won't come. I've just woke up.
Show us your puppies, Stevie.
They're my puppies.
Oh, that's so cute.
Oh.
That's Monty and that's Ray.
No, that's
Oh, wait a
Monty.
minute. That's Ray and that's Monty. I'm half an elbow here on the screen.
Monty's got a blue collar, Ray's got a pink one.
What she said. Right, here you go, poopy bums.
Come on, time for a feed.
Right, they've just about doubled in size since Sunday.
Come on, Leia.
Jesus. What are you feeding them?
Breast milk.
Oh, there he is.
I'm not even going to say anything to that one, Jules.
That's just went.
Chunks just put, I'm not asking Jules to show me her puppies. No. Evening, Mark H.
Mark H, you're in the house. You've just missed your big shout out.
I keep asking Jules to show me her puppies all the time. She keeps telling me, oh. I was going to show you this deck, but it's all over the desk. Oh, God, mate.
They're gorgeous.
Oh,
Fist
bless
bump,
her.
Mark.
Breast milk. Sorry, Chunk. They've gone for a feed.
There you go.
Oh,
Oh, that's better.
I need to change that cotton.
And you know them fallout coils I was talking about?
Yeah.
They fit in there perfect.
Oh, nice one.
The flavours out is unbelievable.
It really is good.
Oh, looking forward to it. Oh, yes.
You're looking forward to it? Oh, yes, he is.
Oh, yes, he is.
With the rebuildable deck, I've not had any leaking issues.
No, none whatsoever.
With the coils, with the stock coils, I have. But with the rebuildable deck, nothing.
I've not had any problems with leaking. I've had a little bit of condensation, but that was about it.
Oh no, I had one dumped a bloody tank.
Really?
Oh,
Completely
Jesus.
dumped a tank.
Now, I've got to admit, I've had, touch wood, nothing. No problems with mine. On both the actual stock coils and the actual rebuildable.
It was only the one coil that done it. So I don't know if it was maybe a fault in one of the O-rings or something. I don't know. But for leakage with the coils, it's a hell of a lot better than the Drag X. The Drag X, you sit the Drag X down, walk away for 5 minutes later. You've got a pool of juice inside the top of the motor.
And I'll tell you one thing, I'm not a mouth to lunger. I'm a direct to lung. But this, I haven't put it down. This is the intake mouth to lung. It's a cracking little tank. I've got taken all the spacers out, the reducers. So I've got the full open bore and open wide. So it's quite really a loose draw. And I love it. I mean, especially on the Groose.
Well, that's my only bit of news from this week. Following your review the other day, I actually went out and bought one. What a cracking little mod.
Here's Ross.
Do you know what? I was surprised more than anything else. After I'd released the video, the amount of comments that people have bought more than one.
Yeah.
For top end 40 quid, this is a lot of mod for your cash.
It is. It's a hell of a lot of mod.
It's a solidly built. It looks fantastic. The menu's dead easy. And I mean, I know you said mouth to lung. I've got the Next Mesh Pro on it because the various coils that Tofo do, you can be down as low as sort of 40 on it. So I've got it currently at just over the 50 watt mark, and it's giving me a cracking vape. Absolutely outstanding. So,
and the other one, the Ursa, love it. It's a cracking little bit of kit.
Tell you also, I'm thoroughly enjoying at the moment for flavour. was You Will Crown 5.
Our Aiden was showing me his. The cloudage off that is unbelievable.
Yeah. I can't fault it. I really can't fault it.
See, no, I've never owned one, and this is the one that's made me sort of think,
I mean, looking at it, it looks kind of cheapish when you look at it. It's got the kind of child-proof lock on top.
It does look like the Freemax Mesh Pro, though, doesn't it?
Yeah, very much so. It's only 510 drip tips, not an 810.
Isn't it?
Surprising, yeah.
Well, that's a shame.
Apart from that, though, I mean, the flavour's absolutely fantastic. I mean, the only thing is, I find that I can't take a very deep inhale on it, because it just, for some reason, it just seems to hit me right in the bloody chest, and I get into a coughing attack. But it's quite noisy. The airflow can be quite noisy on it as well. I mean, fully open. Oh, it's no fucking fully open, you clown. What the fuck? What's going on here? That's better. Tube.
And Chunkmeister, I agree.
Apart from that, I mean, it's. I mean, they're not relatively expensive either. They're reasonably cheap. And as a stock coil tank goes, I've got no complaints. Flavour-wise, cloudage. It just looks a bit cheapish, but apart from that, at the end of the day, as long as it does the bloody job.
Ross, we was originally talking about the Groose. That's this mod here from Lost Vape. We was also talking about the Velocity from Oxford. This is the 21700 mod, where you can either have it in pod mode or you can actually have it in, like I've got it at the present moment, in 510 mode. So what you do is take that off, and then you can turn it around,
whack it into a pod,
and turn it into pod mode with the where's me drip tip? Where's me drip tip? So you can either have it in pod mode like that, new coil mark, pod mode, or you can swap it out and you can have it get on there, update that. You can put your own RDA or tank on it. Oh well, that's the Oxford.
I would say though that shines as a pod.
It does.
It does. It does.
It really does. The tank Stevie was talking about was the Crown 5 by Ewell. Cracking. That's a new release. So what we got? The Groove's the top shelf mod. I'd go with that Bronco. It's gorgeous. For the money, it's ridiculous.
Thank you.
Oh, he's back.
It might not be him.
No, might not be, but hey. Bill, I say. Titanium only for me. Can't beat a nice waft of titanium oxide from the dry burn.
Ooh.
Junk use. So, I say. The Ursa is a lovely bit of kit, I must admit. By God, it started already, hasn't it? John Williams, Toto, now Hans Zimmerman.
Okay, well, we might as well lead on to it now then.
I think we ought to.
Yeah, so do the bumper.
Oh, yeah, the bumper, boss man.
Do. Well, this week's little bit of a topic is soundtracks. We talk about music a lot, a hell of a lot on this show. All three of us have got similar kinds of tastes when it comes to music. So we were thinking about, we love his films, we love his TV shows, and there's some corking music that goes with it. So we thought we'd talk about soundtracks. So who wants to kick off?
Well, it was Stevie's
What?
shout on the music episode. So
I'm cleaning my tank up. I've got a drip. Yeah, just I've always been a big fan of movie soundtracks. I find at times, especially if I'm reading a book or something like that, putting like a band on or something like a CD, especially when you got a lot of singing and that in the background, it kind of takes your mind off the book. So I got into film scores, not so much the soundtrack side of stuff, but more so film scores, and that's what kind of brought us into this kind of subject. What is our favourite film soundtracks and film scores? There is loads and loads of them out there. I mean, some of my favourites, especially the soundtrack side of things, Gross Point Blank, soundtrack wise, The Lost Boys, all the stuff that Mark's putting up.
not that he listens to them, of course.
No. Yeah, it's me. I mean, there's loads and loads of them out there. But the scores, the movie scores as well, just for something different to listen to. And I think it was Pav mentioned Hans Zimmer earlier on there. I mean, Jules and I went to see Hans Zimmer and the band 2 years ago, and it was one of the best gigs I have ever been to. It was absolutely amazing. And if anybody likes that kind of thing, check out the Live in Prague video on YouTube. It's the full concert from start to finish. Hans Zimmer and the band, and it's absolutely brilliant. Excerpts from the Dark Knight trilogy, Pirates of the Caribbean, Interstellar, trying to think what else, Sherlock Holmes, Driving Miss Daisy, Madagascar, things like that, and it's absolutely amazing watching it. It's all right if you've got a CD on and you're listening to a CD, it's okay, but actually watching the band and the orchestra and the choir, playing this music, it's awesome to actually watch.
I tell you one thing, I know I wasn't actually there at the actual concert, but the Doctor Who one that they did at the Albert Hall.
Right.
I went to the Sheffield one. Took my son. Wow. The orchestration, the choral work, and then you've got the characters moving around the audience at the same time. It was just a magical evening. I mean, forget for me son, for me. So
I mean, Jules and I have been to see. We went to see the first two Harry Potter with the live orchestra.
Oh, I bet that was good.
It was unbelievable. Because you didn't know what to watch, whether to watch the bloody screen, to watch the actual movie itself, or watch the orchestra playing. It was fantastic. And it's the first time, I must admit, it's the first time I've ever been to see a movie where nobody moved off their backside when the titles come up at the end. Everybody sat to the orchestra completely finished. It was good. It was really good. And it's something I would highly recommend. If you're into that kind of thing, it's really good.
Well, I mean, we've already had Dances with Wolves mentioned.
Oh, that's an epic.
Bronco mentioned that. That was John Barry. I mean,
Last of the Mohicans as well. That what a track.
Oh, you ain't kidding. I mean, but if you're going over The Mission, Vangelis, he did the soundtrack for that.
Yep.
That was stunning.
Even Vangelis again, Blade Runner.
Oh God, yeah. Well, Chariots of Fire.
Yeah.
I mean, that's his opus, really, isn't it? You know, that's the one that most people remember him for. But I mean, there's some brilliant stuff coming up here.
I think one of the earliest soundtracks that I ever bought was Clockwork Orange.
I think mine was the Transformers movie back in '86, because that had some cracking hair metal on it. But I mean, the Clockwork Orange was very electronic, wasn't it?
Yeah, I forget his name. Oh,
It was, oh, Christ, we spoke about this the other night, didn't we? Oh, God.
It was.
Oh God, I can't think. Originally, she was a female, and then obviously she
Yeah, Wendy
transgender.
Carlos.
Wendy Carlos.
That's it.
It was it Wayne Carlos? His name was. Yeah.
Yeah,
think
it's
so, yeah.
Wendy,
Before it-
Wendy, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But what? It's hard to split it. So obviously we're doing soundtracks. Do we split film scores and film soundtracks? I think that would be a best way, wouldn't it? Really. So we're talking about the film score side of it. See, I love my Hellraiser, and I think the all three the music from there are absolutely fantastic. It just gives the pure atmosphere of the whole films. Without them sounds, it wouldn't quite be the same. Like, so I love them.
But I think now though, going back, I mean, the Hellraiser movies, late 80s, early 90s. When you go back and listen to them now, they are dated to a certain extent. But there's still a CD you can put in and listen to.
Oh yeah.
You know, it's not one of those ones where, you know, it's but we've moved on 20, 30 years down the line. I just put it in a drawer out of the way. It's always something you can go back to with the soundtracks.
Yeah, but John Carpenter.
Oh God, yeah, I love John Carpenter.
Look at Escape from New York and Escape from LA.
They Live.
They live, you know. But I mean, the reason I mentioned the Escape from New York, that was what, 15, 20 years before they did the sequel.
Oh
And
yeah.
the music, very little had changed. Bit bigger, but that was it. You know, absolutely
And
brilliant.
the thing with Carpenter is Carpenter actually plays on
Yeah.
he writes the music for it.
And it's
God,
good,
yeah.
and it's definitely got that late 70s, early 80s electronic
Vibe about
Moog synthesizers, which I absolutely love. I love to death the early electronic stuff.
it. I was actually listening to Big Trouble in Little China last night while I was sitting in here making decals up.
I love that film.
Good Morning Vietnam is probably one of the best soundtracks because it's got Robin shouting out all over it. I love it.
That's one of the things I like as well with all the kind of movie soundtracks and stuff. See when they've got little movie clips, the little sound bites
Yeah.
in between each track. They're absolutely fantastic. I mean, one of the ones that I love is Gladiator with the sound bites in it. It's amazing. It's got the whole my name is Marcus Decimus, you know, Marcus Decimus Meridius, Commander of the Armies of the North, and all that. It's got all that the way at the start of it and stuff, you know, and it's fantastic. It's a good CD to listen to, just for chilling out.
Pulp Fiction, back in the day. I mean, that was the first album I'd ever heard with sound bites. You know, where you got the Zed's Dead Baby and all the rest of it. You know,
Yeah.
and it just took you back.
Whose motorcycle is this, Butch?
That's the one. Zed. Who's Zed?
Well, I was looking through my collection. Obviously, I've got some there, but I was looking at sort of like, you know, pure albums, and I was picking out some ones that I still listen to, and one of them's Commitments, volumes 1 and 2. Absolutely love that album.
Yep.
Well, both of them. Also was Queen of the Damned. I think that is a cracking soundtrack. I another one is Sucker Punch.
I watched the film once and I thought,
Well, the soundtrack, she actually sings the songs.
right?
Yeah, what's her name now? Hang on, I did write it down somewhere. Where is it? Sucker Punch. Yeah, Emily Browning. Because you've got Sweet Dreams, which is Emily Browning. You've got Bjorg and Skunk and Nancy doing The Army of Me. That I love that. Then you've got White Rabbit. What else? I Want It All. Destroyed. Tomorrow Never Knows. Absolutely fantastic blooming cover of the Beatles. Love that.
See, if we're doing Sucker Punch, Tank Girl's got to be up there.
Yeah.
You've got the Germ Jet and the Blackout cover of Let's Do It. You've got Ice-T, Bjork, Veruca Salts. You know, there is some cracking bands on that. Well, I mean, for me, the ultimate comic sort of movie tie-in, it's got to be The Crow.
Yeah.
That is one of the best soundtracks I've ever heard. I mean, something that kicks off with the Cure, I'm not going to argue with.
Oh, no, of course not.
But saying that, little known film, I don't know if you two have seen it, Judgment Night.
No.
It was, the whole soundtrack was a mishmash of hip hop and metal. And it was an amazing soundtrack. I mean, when you've got Ice-T, and I think it was Ice-T and Slayer, and they're on the one, what an such an aggressive soundtrack. It just fitted so well with the premise of the film. Absolutely brilliant.
The Way We Were. Can't think of that one.
Oh, Crossroads now.
Oh,
there's
Crossroads, yeah, that's it. What about La Bamba? I like that one.
Now, Crossroads was the majority of that. Was it Mellencamp? No, it wasn't Mellencamp. Who was it? Oh, hold on. I'm going to have to Google through that now.
Yes, Gav's put Flash Gordon, Queen, anything that Queen did, Highlander, Flash Gordon.
Oh, I love Highlander.
It was an instant. That was an instant hit, wasn't
You start getting emotional with that.
it?
You
Yeah.
know, the boots are made for you. You're not gold.
Sorry, mate. It was Raikuda.
Raikuda.
He
Ry
did the
Cooder.
majority of Crossroads.
Right, could if I'm correct me if I'm wrong, did he not do Southern Comfort as well? Southern Comfort was the one with the army was it the Everglades or something like that? I'm sure he did that too.
Another film soundtrack that I really enjoy. If you're into your blues and things like that, Black Snake Moan.
Oh, God, yeah.
That is a corker, especially if, like I said, if you're into your blues. That's Samuel L. Jackson, that.
Yeah, you don't watch it with the kids about, though.
No,
for God's
no,
sakes.
it's an adult film. But yeah, the soundtrack's absolutely fine. Another one, Brother, Where Art Thou?
Oh, that's a cracker.
That really is an awesome soundtrack, especially the Soggy Bottom Boys. Young Guns, yeah, I remember getting that. I mean, John Bon Jovi.
That was a cracker.
It was a good album.
I mean, Gordon Bennett, we've got some brilliant ones from chat. We've got Rocky, which was astounding. Either the original score or the sort of Survivor tracks, because that was on 3 and 4, wasn't it?
Deliverance, I've got that album as well. That is an awesome album, that.
Chunk, the 1981 movie, sorry guys. Ry Cooder did the soundtrack for that.
Nice
The one
one.
about the Louisiana National Guard
Yeah.
stuck in the swamp.
Bunny! I don't want Fop. I want goddamn Deputy. Von got Fop. Deputy won't be in till next week.
Stevie, John says, Stevie, you were the original Highlander, weren't you? Is it really Stevie McLeod?
Watch a haggish.
Gareth, nice one.
It's
Yeah,
a sheep,
Blade.
It's a sheep's stomach with meat and barley. And what do you do with it? You eat it. You great Spanish peacock. How fucking... swore again. How stupid was that for me? You get a French guy playing a Scotsman and a Scotsman playing a... Wait a minute now, hold on. This one gets complicated. You get a Scottish guy playing an Egyptian Spaniard thing. Anywho. There can be only one.
Oh, Crockett's theme.
Yeah, you've just missed one. Blade.
Oh, Blade.
I've got three soundtracks in there. That was Mark Isham, I think, if I can remember correctly. He did the first album. I'm sure it was he did the first album.
I mean, I forget what the actual song's called. But it was at the era where trance was big. And it's the bit where it goes right at the beginning and they've got the vampire...
In the club.
Where all the blood comes out the
Blades in the
fire.
plate, burn.
I love that track. Oh, yeah, Pasty, Iron Man, just because of AC/DC.
Tons of volume up.
See, now AC/DC did a soundtrack way before that. Maximum Overdrive. Which was basically the best of AC/DC at that time.
Yeah.
But that was a cracking score, movie soundtrack that was.
Do you know one of the very first movie scores, soundtracks I ever listened to was actually the Bitch, remember, with Joan Collins?
All right.
Oliver, was it Oliver Tobias?
Oliver Tobias, yeah. That was one of the very, I think it was actually the first movie soundtrack album I ever heard.
I think mine was South Pacific.
I'm gonna watch that man right now.
Oh, Chuck Meister, Spinal Tap.
See, now, Cody's just thrown, a bit back in chat through Guardians of the Galaxy.
That is an awesome... Oh, that is just such an eclectic of music.
But there were some brilliant tracks from the 70s that would have disappeared.
I think the king of that one has got to be, what's his face, who did Dusk Till Dawn.
Oh...
Quentin Tarantino. Yeah. I think if you're going to have a soundtrack, he is probably the king of eclectic music for a film. At it.
Son of a Preacher Man was Pulp Fiction. You've got Little Green Bag on Reservoir Dogs. That became an iconic piece of music after Reservoir, didn't it? It's just that scene of them all walking out together.
That ding. Ding 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 ding.
I mean, Jesus Christ, that was on pub jukeboxes all over the country after that.
Yeah, the True Romance soundtrack's good as well. I love that film. Especially that bit where his dad knows he's going to get killed. I love that.
Well, I mean, you've got some crackers coming up. Deerstalker, Apocalypse Now, Flight of the Valkyries. You know, that film probably did more for classical music.
Yeah. I love the smell of napalm in the morning.
I mean, what was it? Was it Surfing USA where they were in the choppers?
Yeah, did they not also play White Rabbit by Jefferson Airplane as well, didn't they?
Yes, Rocky Horror Picture Show. We can't not have Rocky Horror Picture Show.
That's the granddaddy of them all. Evening Dawn.
I think that covers all bases, that one.
I tell you what, I've listened to that album. I must have owned 6 or 7 copies because I've worn them out.
I've got about 3 or 4 different versions of it. I've got the version from the actual motion picture.
Yeah.
I've got the London cast, the original 1970s London cast. I've also got the American cast as well. And then I've got another, I think it was 1980 something redone one as well.
They also did the audience participation recordings.
So that's right, yeah, that's got that.
I love those.
Janet Weiss, slut. Dr. Everett Scott.
Labyrinth. Now that's another good one.
Oh, they're fantastic. Labyrinth. I mean, Bowie. What more can you say? You know.
Well, there's 2 movie soundtracks that people always forget: Hard Day's Night and Help.
Yeah, Beatles. But the other one that people forget with Bowie is The Man Who Fell to Earth.
Oh, yeah. That was a weird film.
That was a cracker. Ferris
Bueller's Day Off. Do don't don't do 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 do. Bit of yellow. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
What about Top Gun and Footloose?
Top Gun, yeah. Another good one.
Anyone mentioned the Lost Boys?
Oh,
Yes.
you can't not miss the Lost Boys.
Boogie
I
Nights.
still say that is the best version of People Are Strange.
Yeah, Echo and the Bunnymen.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it. What a fantastic... I think the only one that was a bit creepy was the one with the saxophone.
Mummy Calls.
The song was fine, but watching him... Yeah, that were a bit...
It looked like he was blowing into a toy saxophone.
You've got
still
this
believe
hulk
it
of a
was.
man, and he's got this little toy saxophone. Just didn't look right.
I tell you, there was one soundtrack album I bloody hated. It was Batman by Prince. Fuck, I detested that. I absolutely detested it. I'm not the biggest Prince fan in the world, but I actually hated that bloody album.
See, I'm not a big Prince fan, but Purple Rain.
Purple Rain was good.
Yeah, Purple Rain was good, but Batman was... Oh.
Blooming heck, I forgot about that one, Chuck Meister. Days of
Days of
Thunder.
Thunder,
That was
yeah.
a cracking little album, that.
Mariah McKee, Show Me Heaven, wasn't it?
Mm.
Yeah. Oh, man. I mean, these are when I was sort of 15, the Days of Thunder sort of period and Top Gun. I was 15, 16 years old. You're just spreading your wings. You're going to the cinema and you're coming out and you're like, I want to know what that song was.
Yeah.
So you straight down the library to go and get the soundtrack. You know, Superfly, what an album. And I would add to that Shaft. The original Shaft. The original Shaft album is awesome.
Max, fist bump.
Dude.
Here's one, A Blast for the Past.
Oh, God. Hang on.
Oh.
Mr. Anderson's just put it in there. South Park, the movie.
Sweet. Shake my balls, Mr. Garrison. Holy shit, would you like to suck my balls, Mr. Garrison? Respect my authority. Satan.
Cartman's mom's a bitch.
Meow, meow. Go away, kitty. Meow, meow. Go away, kitty. Mom, kitty's being a dildo. Well, I know a certain kitty who's sleeping with mommy tonight.
Wrong. Just wrong. Team America, yes. That was a corker as well. Just because
I wasn't a big fan of Team America.
Neither was I.
I liked it as a parody. The soundtrack had some funny stuff on it.
Team America.
And then we've got Grease 1 and 2.
Oh.
The Grease, the first one, yeah. Grease 2, not so much.
Yeah, but if you're going to do that, you've got to bring in Night Fever.
It's a classic. You can't get away from it. I mean, Saturday Night Fever, that theme, it just puts a smile on my face, that one. A bloke with a high-pitched voice telling him he's a man, and this is how he walks.
You've got to
Suppose his
admit,
trousers were too tight.
any bloke over a certain age, you stick that track on and you start walking in time to the beat, don't you, of the track?
Yeah, but when you get to a certain age when that music comes on, that's the cue for you just to scratch your ass up a wee bit when you get that walk.
Oh, Roadhouse. I love that film, Roadhouse.
That was a cork, and there were some brilliant covers on that.
The name's Dalton. Sorry, guys.
Wayne's World.
Excellent.
That, to be fair, that cover of Ballroom Blitz was pretty damn good. What else we got? Fame.
I want to live forever.
The TV series irritated the crap out of me. The film even more so. My Bezzy mate's sister used to play that album on repeat non-stop. I hated that film.
Oh, Bill and Ted. Well, I mean, obviously you've got, what do you call it? Out of, oh, my brain won't work now.
You got Kiss on that. God gave rock and
Yeah.
roll to you. The Argent cover.
Oh, what's his name? Brain's gone dead. No, can't think. No, brain's gone dead. The
Darth,
Lion King?
You laugh, mate. Hakuna Matata is a classic.
Well, I'm getting back to Hans Zimmer, because it was Hans Zimmer who wrote the score for that. And actually seeing that getting played live by the band, that was amazing, because they actually brought on the guy who recorded the original song. As I say, guys, go and watch it on YouTube. Hans Zimmer live in Prague. It's fantastic. Go back to older movies. Not so much older movies, but movies that get 1950s, 1960s soundtracks in them. Any of your gangster movies. In back, you've got obviously the Godfather, but that's more so. That's more a.
I've got the soundtrack to the Goodfellas.
Yeah, you get that. The likes of Casino, things like that. Stand By Me.
Stand By Me is an awesome.
It's movies that's kind of based around about that kind of era, the 50s and 60s. Man, I love all that kind of music as well.
Jeff Healey, that's who I was trying to think of with Roadhouse. Because it was Jeff Healey that had a character part in the film. The blind geezer.
Yeah.
So absolutely brilliant. Did they bring out Nicola Sturgeon singing Circle of Life? What's that dark place, Nicola? That's England. We don't go there.
That's one.
Bless you.
One film I have never watched, and that's Quadrophenia.
Oh, you've
Watched
missed
that a
out,
couple of
mate.
times.
You have so missed out.
See, I'm not a mod person.
But it's not.
It's more a coming of age movie than
Yeah.
a mod
Yeah.
film.
Yeah.
But Coyote Ugly, that was a cracking soundtrack.
Junks Band, the Blues Brothers.
And the other one, Cocktail,
Cocktail was a good one.
that was a cracker. Oh, Jules, Star is Born. We watched that.
Yeah,
The
what a
new
disc.
version.
the
I
other
like the
one.
music. I'm just not keen on the film. I just feel it's a film that ends wrongly.
Well, I watched the 2018. Were you going to say the 76 version, Steve?
Yeah, Chris Christopherson.
That is the better version. But the one with Lady Gaga, I thought the music was brilliant. But it's just the actual film. It's so like, I understand the premise of it, but it's the ending. It just doesn't go anywhere.
But Rowan's just thrown one up. Platoon.
Yeah.
That version of Adagio for strings will get every hair on the back of your neck up if you've seen the film. What a piece of classical music that is. I mean, The Crow. God.
And believe it or not, sorry to interrupt, I was just looking what Chuck Mice did. The original Star is Born. The original Star is Born didn't have any music in it.
No, it was in 1936.
Yeah, something like that.
It was a story about a bloke and his wife goes onto the stage.
Getting back that far, the original jazz singer.
Yeah.
Was great. But the remake with Neil Diamond was absolutely fantastic, and the soundtrack to that is amazing. It's one of my all-time favourite soundtracks.
Yeah.
Is Neil Diamond as a jazz singer. I mean, I could sit and listen to that guy sing all day long.
Max, thank you. Donnie Darko.
Yeah, Donnie Darko was a blooming good one.
I mean, okay, there was that cover of Mad World. That was the song that sort of sold the album, but the rest of the music is brilliant.
I mean,
Forrest
that
Gump.
Mad World, I mean, the version that he did, he completely changed it around from the Tears for Fears original.
Yeah.
Completely. It was so like he grabbed the song and completely
Made it his own.
made it his own, yeah.
I'm with the Hunger, especially with Bauhaus playing right at the very start of it, playing Bela Lugosi's Dead.
Oh, yeah. See, Forrest Gump, again,
Mm.
the music was brilliant because it tracked
Track the story.
the progression of the story.
Mm-hmm.
And it's absolutely awesome. Spawn, that was a good album.
Yeah.
My Chemical Wedding. Never heard of that one, Mike.
That's, was that Sting? I'm sure that was Sting.
Hey, up, we're Googling now.
Too right we are. Because if it's the one, I think it is. Oh, it's the Bruce Dickinson. It's the Aleister Crowley story.
Right.
Yeah, the record draws inspiration from the works of William Blake, featuring sung and spoken excerpts of his prophetic works and poetry. And there's Dickinson's cover of Jerusalem on it.
The Boat That Rocked. That were a good album and film.
I love that. But, I mean, to be fair, you look at it, the Benny King out of Stand By Me, The Commitments, Dark End of the Street, Mustang Sally, a lot of it, the really popular stuff that came out was 60 Soul.
Oh, yeah.
Motown.
Yeah.
I want to be known as Deco.
What's that, top deco or bottom deco? Fuck me, I just seen all the corsairs coming over that wall.
Sorry.
4 Weddings and a Funeral. It was, I think a lot of that's carried by that bloody song from Wet, 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 innit? Love Is All Around.
How many weeks were that at number one?
You bloody
15,
mean.
16?
Between that and friggin' Robin Hood.
Oh, don't.
Wait, what'd you call him? Brian Adams.
Brian
Yeah.
Adams.
Canada keeps apologising for him. Answering the
Another cracking album, Bunny. Train Spotting. I love that album.
Perfect Day.
Yeah,
That was
Perfect
my first
Day. I mean, Perfect
introduction.
Day. Just.
It's shite being Scottish, Tom.
Oh, Dan, yes, School of Rock. That is a corking one.
I don't think I've ever seen that.
Really?
You
Was
never
that
seen
Black?
No. Jack Black to Tenacious D, different story. Jack Black irritates the crap out of me.
Yeah.
Another blooming good soundtrack. Tenacious D.
Pick
The
of Destiny.
Yeah, Spirit of Destiny.
Has that got tribute on it? I'm trying to think.
Yes, it has, yeah.
Yeah.
Wonder Boy as well.
There's that other track by Tenacious D, which we won't talk about, but what a cracking video that is. Rock of Ages. I thoroughly enjoyed that. It was a bit weird seeing Tom Cruise singing metal, but...
Oh,
Never mind.
John. Armageddon, yeah. I love that bit. I'm leaving on a jet plane.
See, it's
That's
weird.
Nancy.
Oh, cracker. Cracking.
Gary
But, I mean,
Oldman. That is one guy. Gary Oldman is one of them guys. No matter what he plays, he's just a totally different character. I does.
But I mean, the Armageddon, there was 2 albums. One was the original score, which was cracking. I mean, that was all the instrumental, the orchestral stuff. When you bought the other one, it was basically Aerosmith. There was a couple of other tracks on it, but a lot of it was rehashed versions of I Don't Want to Miss a Thing. Like the Animal Cracker mix of I Don't Want to Miss a Thing. It just seemed a bit of a rip-off.
Yeah, I think it was a bit of a cash grab, wasn't it? Really?
But there is a lot. I suppose, so like end of the 80s, early 90s, there was a lot of that where you used to get an album and then you'd look on it, the actual album, and it's like, that wasn't on the film, but it's on your album. And then you find out it says songs inspired by the film.
Or, the thing is, how many times, going back to what I mentioned earlier on, when we went to see the Harry Potter with the live orchestra, how many times do you actually sit and watch the titles at the end of a movie? Very rarely.
I do. I'm a sad kid.
And at times they actually throw the occasional song right in at the very end.
I'm terrible
they-
because
SoulOhm.
it was sort of like when we went to see Avengers. It's like
Yeah.
sit back, stay, sat down, sat down.
Waiting for the end scene that never came.
Get the Triple X movies.
Yeah, they were good.
Oh, the Triple X2's got some of my favourite tracks on.
Oh, you can't. I mean, you can't beat Rammstein right at the very start of the Triple X movie.
Hmm?
The
Oh
very
God,
first one.
Firefight, yeah. But
Another soundtrack that I really like and I've got is Gone in 60 Seconds with Nicolas Cage.
oh,
That is a corker because it's got Moby on it as well.
yeah, and it's got the Cults version of "Painted on My Heart," which was originally a Steven Tyler track. He wrote it. That has got to be one of the. I think I mentioned it in my music to get you vavavoom. That is one of the most erotic pieces of music I have ever heard. Sorry. I always got Lowrider on as well. That's another cracking track.
Oh, yeah. 8 Mile by Eminem. That is a good album. It's a good film, to be honest with you.
Again, not one I've seen.
It's a cracking film. It really is. And I mean, I'm not a big rap fan, but that Eminem really did like that.
Titanic, Chunk, Hang Your Head in Shape.
Hey, no, don't get me the score.
The score was
Titanic score
good.
is absolutely fantastic. The Celine Dion song just ripped the heart right out of it.
Oh,
The Wanderers was absolutely Paul. That's stuff that I put up here. The Wanderers was absolutely. That was a fantastic soundtrack. Okay, Chunk, Flash Gordon's approaching.
Oh,
Dispatch for Rocket Ajax to bring back his body.
Layer
Max.
Cake.
I'm so glad you mentioned that because that leads me into Lock, Stock and Two Smoking Barrels and Snatch.
Oh, I love
If you-
Snatch.
Not only have they got
What
some
about that?
cracking music,
What about dog?
the
My
sound
one's a
bites,
periwinkle.
the sound bites from Bricktop on the Snatch album just make it worth the money alone. And then you've got Barry on the Lock, Stock and Two Smoking Barrels. You know, oh, you silly. No, oh, you bastard. But there's one that a lot of people don't pick up, Rock and Roller.
Yeah.
That has got an absolutely stunning soundtrack. Rock and Roll Queen, that's one of the best tracks I've ever heard. Love that. Plus one for
So,
Layer Cake.
what about film musicals?
Musicals. We've already mentioned mine.
Well, we've got Rocky Horror.
Little Shop of Horrors.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Feed me,
Sunday
Seymour.
Feed me now.
Now.
Ross, take care. Big fist bump and thanks for joining us.
Cheers, Ross. Speak to you in a bit, mate.
Cats is, Jules has just mentioned it. Cats is probably one of the ones that I remember most from being a kid.
Fiddler on the Roof, Gailey's just been.
Yeah, Fiddler on the Road.
Oh, brilliant.
I love Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. I love Mary Poppins. I love them films. I think they're awesome.
Oklahoma.
Doris Day movies. And yeah, Seven Brides for Seven Brothers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, Paint Your Wagon. That has got to be up there.
Yeah, of course it has, yeah.
I was born under a wandering star.
Can I get your voice down that bloody low? I mean, modern movies like that, Moulin Rouge.
I like that.
The Greatest Showman. I've never seen The Greatest Showman, but apparently it's really
That is really good. There's some awesome tracks on that.
Well, actually surprised me. It's Chunks, but and Clint Eastwood has a really good voice. It actually surprised you how many actors out there do have a good singing voice.
Well, Patrick Swayze. I mean, all right, he did She's Like the Wind on the Dirty Dancing soundtrack, but he actually had a really good singing voice. Twister.
Twister. Not heard that one. I know the film.
Just thinking, I seem to remember there was a...
And John Cole's seen Shrek live.
Wasn't Twister
Shrek's
Carry On
eggs.
My Wayward Son? I'm sure that was Carry On My Wayward Son. Kansas.
Parfait. Everybody likes parfait. And in the morning, we'll be making waffles.
Donkey.
On the road again.
That was it. It was Child in Time. Where they're out chasing the tornado and Twister. He puts Child in Time.
He puts it through the PA system on
Yeah.
the van.
But there's one that we haven't mentioned, City of Angels. Purely for the Goo Goo Dolls and Iris. But there's also there's U2 on that soundtrack. There's Peter Gabriel on that soundtrack. It's an absolute corker. Forget the slushy movie. Just listen to the album. It's brilliant.
Yeah, I mean that's what we were talking about kind of the other night. I mean, there's one soundtrack that always sticks in my mind from back to the 80s. It is Demons 2.
Easy Gale.
You've got the Smiths on it. You've got Gene Loves Jezebel, The Cult, Fields of the Nephilim. So anybody who was into that kind of goth scene around about that time, that's a fantastic album.
Yeah.
Well, Sing Street. You know the film about the Irish band. That's got an absolutely brilliant soundtrack. Very similar sort of artists on it.
Have you ever watched the film Control?
No.
It's about Joy Division.
Oh, is that the one about the Ian? What's his face?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All about it.
Yeah.
It starts from the beginning of Joy Division to the end of Joy Division. Absolutely brilliant film, that.
See, I mean, this is the thing about the soundtracks, though. In the action movies, it sets the scene, it sets the pace, like Top Gun. You know, if you hadn't had Mighty Wings and Playing with the Boys and all the rest of it, it probably wouldn't have been half the film.
Another one that gets me is Philadelphia.
Oh. You know the one that gets me on that? Bruce Springsteen.
Yeah, the
related?
Bruce Springsteen, Philadelphia. Honestly.
It was Jerry Maguire, and it's Springsteen's Secret Garden. I can't hear that without, that song does stuff.
Oh, I just love Rhapsody in Blue, irrespective. Gershwin, blooming out. What a guy.
Mr. SoulOhm, you just had a tap on the wrist. She's on about the film, you bunch of reprobates.
Iron Eagle has one vision on it. Yes, that it totally does.
See, I mean, did you ever notice that some of the B movies had one cracking song on the soundtrack? And that was it. But, I mean, there's Buckaroo Banzai in the Seventh Dimension. That's got a cracking soundtrack.
Say that again.
Buckaroo Banzai in the Seventh Dimension.
You'll find it on Pornhub.
I was thinking that. You know something, I just put in Buckaroo and I was waiting in the game corner. That's the first thing that's come up. The Adventures of Buckaroo Banzai across the 8th dimension. Holy shitballs.
Thank you. Patch Adams, that is an absolutely stunning soundtrack.
Bloody hell. There's some cast in that.
Oh, yeah.
Why have I never heard of that? Probably because it was shit.
It was, that is a cult classic, my boy.
So it means it was shit.
It was brilliant.
It was
Same
shit.
as,
No.
Same as Doc Savage, The Man of Bronze with Ron Eli.
Oh, that was brilliant.
A brilliant film.
But the thing is, when the films first came out, they were all shit, and then they became cult classics.
It's always interesting, that one, what becomes cult.
Any movie that's shit, 10 years, 15 years, 20
Yeah.
years down the line, it becomes a cult classic. I tell you, a movie that became a cult classic for me was, Hudson Hawk with Bruce
Yep.
Willis.
Mm.
And it's him that, I think it's Bruce that does a lot of the songs in the soundtrack as well. Because it's the songs, he actually sings the songs as he's doing the burglaries for the times of the songs. That was a good album.
See, Gailey's just
Heavy
brought
Meat.
in-
Yeah, Gailey's coming out with Corkers. I mean,
Sorry.
Bridge Over River Kwai.
Mr. Anderson.
and The Great Escape.
Heavy Metal, that was the film I couldn't remember the damn name of.
Brilliant film. Weird, but brilliant. But I mean, when you go back to those big budget war movies, like Von Ryan's Daughter, they had some fantastic scores.
And they were epic scores. They were just, it was that big bloody
Big.
orchestra sound.
Oh God, yeah. Well, I mean, Bridge Over the River Kwai. You know, who doesn't remember the whistling bit? You know, Great Escape.
Yeah.
Every Friday, 3:45, I used to blast The Great Escape through my PC in the office, ready to do a runner.
It's surprising how many actual classical composers we all know, but don't realise what the song's called or who composed it. But you know these off by heart.
Well, like Men of Harlech in Zulu.
Mm.
You know, for years I thought those were the proper words. I'm thinking, what the hell's the Welsh choir doing looking at spears?
Just to let you know, BFG, everyone's a fruit and nut cake is not the actual lyrics.
What, as a hazelnut in every bite? Squirrel
Squirrel
shit.
shit.
Oh. Now, did they ever release The Wizard of Oz on album?
Yes, I think they did.
Yeah, I'm sure they did.
Follow the yellow brick road, follow the yellow brick road, follow the yellow brick road.
It has my classic song in it. If I only had a brain.
Fly, my pretties.
Fly. Help me, I'm melting.
So what do you think to the more modern ones, you know, like La La Land and Mamma Mia?
No.
They don't hold the same.
They don't, do they?
No,
Well,
I think the era of the film musical was 50s, 60s, Doris Day, that kind of thing.
I would go probably 70s because you've got The Wall and Tommy and all the rest of it.
But would you count that as because they were albums first? before
Yeah,
we can
it's a tough
you know,
one, that one,
it's,
isn't it?
it's that, yeah. It's kind
Them,
of
especially them two.
yeah.
I was thinking more on the lines of actual musicals. Is it like Mamma Mia? Is actually a musical. I know it's based on ABBA songs, but there is an actual story behind it all.
Well, same with Grease, though. That was 70s. Yeah. But I agree completely with Stevie. I don't think... I mean, when you look back to the likes of West Side Story, Singing in the Rain, White Christmas,
Yeah.
you know, they were big.
Oh God, yeah, they were Hollywood.
Yeah. But the movie was better. Nostalgia does play a big part in it, but I mean, when you listen to them back to back, sorry, hearing Pierce Brosnan singing ABBA lyrics, it just...
Yeah, it's these aren't movies that you're actually going to remember for the music and the singing, are they? I mean, get back to the likes of Doris Day, Howard Keel. They're movies for our generation that we're going to remember. The likes of these modern day so-called musicals.
I mean,
you watch them
classic
once.
songs like Oliver. The film.
Got to pick a pocket.
Got to pick a pocket.
Boys.
Now, I mean, there's
May I have
there's one I've not mentioned, which I must mention because she'll kill me if I don't. Breaking Glass, Hazel O'Connor.
Oh yeah.
Now, to me, that film, the music played as much of a part as the storyline did.
Yeah.
And I would go as far to say that was almost a musical in itself, because it's the same sort of thing as A Star Is Born. You know, the plot of the film rotated around so heavily around the music. It was cracking. There we go. See, I might have got brownie points for that one.
Out of all of them, I think I enjoyed Burlesque. I thought that was a good. I did enjoy that one. I mean, especially when Christina Aguilera did the Hot Love. That part there, that was absolutely fantastic.
Sorry, I was in my happy place then.
I'm sorry, I just love that bit. Obviously, where because obviously there was doing the burlesque bit. If you haven't seen the film, and there was all miming to soundtracks, and one of the girls that didn't like the new girl, which is Christina Aguilera, she pulled out the PA system.
Yeah.
So they was just about to shut the curtain, and then obviously Christina Aguilera screams out "Hot Love," and honestly, it does actually. If you watch it, it did put a couple of hairs on the back of me neck there.
Took me to my happy place.
And I thought it was a good. And I also enjoyed the other one with Brain's gone dead now. The burlesque with what's it called? Pardon?
Moulin Rouge.
Moulin Rouge, that's it, yeah. And I did enjoy that because I liked what they did with reinterpreting classic songs. And it was the way that they didn't just do the straight song like ABBA does. They reinvented how it did it.
Yeah,
I mean, they
there's
did they did the Lady Marmalade mixing it with Nirvana.
Because there was 5 of them on that song.
Yeah, well, we know that.
I'm still traumatised about the squids.
Right, boys, it's 10-2.
I mean, heck.
We had better floof the man.
Floof. They've got a special guest on called Mike Vapes. Never,
Is he?
I don't know, some American.
Oh, well.
He's only got a few subs though.
Yeah, so nip over and give him a sub because he needs them.
Do you know what? Why don't we carry this on for next week? You fancy that, chat? We'll carry this on for next week because I think there's still a hell of a lot more films out there that we haven't mentioned.
I would also
Wise, music wise.
open it up to TV series as well, because I mean we've got the
Yeah,
likes of Buffy,
we haven't even touched on that.
Yeah, if everyone's happy, I'm more than happy to talk about this.
Yeah.
X1. So if you'd like us to talk about this more, slap in them X1s. We want to see the X1s. So while are you going to say your goodbyes?
Bye. Well, chat, thank you so much for joining us again, for talking about something that's not related to vaping, because it seems to be that these topics that we bring up in the show seem to get you guys in chat a hell of a lot more involved than the vaping side of things, which is a great thing because it's entertainment for you as well as for us. So again, thank you so much for joining us, and again, tune in next week for more of the same. Steve and Mark, absolutely brilliant guys. There's so many movies mentioned I haven't seen before, because I'm definitely going to try and check out this Adventures of Buckaroo Banzai Across the Eighth Dimension. Can you imagine trying to get that in bloody, what'd you call it? What's that fucking game you play? You don't say charades. Imagine trying to get that. Really? Anywho, see you next week, guys.
Bless you.
Stephen.
Thank you, darling. Chat, awesome as ever. Thank you, guys. I mean, there's been some brilliant films thrown up. There's been some I haven't seen, and I might even give School of Rock a go. as long as I don't want to punch the telly out.
You'll like it. It's a good film.
They said that about the remake of Gulliver's Travels because it had Billy Connolly into it. They lied to me.
Oh, you'll like School of Rock. It's good.
Well, it looks like there's an interest in carrying this on. So, I mean, The Princess Bride.
It was Mark Knopfler, wasn't it?
Yeah. Oh, superb. I think there's definitely scope. I think there's definitely there's more TV shows to talk about because there's the likes of Buffy, Angel, Justified, stuff like that, Sons of Anarchy. So maybe we can go into it a bit more.
My name is Inigo Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare to die.
To die.
Sorry, this is all I seem to do is just put little sound clips in because I'm an idiot.
Oh, brilliant.
Gaffer.
You're up.
Guys, what a fantastic show. I've right enjoyed it. He's gone so quickly. And guys in chat, absolutely awesome. Because we have a Facebook group. If you want to put some of your suggestions in the Facebook group, please do. So we can sort out, there might be films that we've not actually caught or seen and think, oh, I'm watching that one. So if you've got any suggestions, slap them in the Facebook group. It's always nice to hear what you have got to say. So, Betty, BFG, thank you so much for an awesome show. Guys in chat, thank you as well. It's been ace listening to all what you've been saying as well. One last thing before I do go, don't forget to check out Mark HVS channel. I've put in the description now. Go check him out and give him a sub. Big love from all three of us, and we'll see you all next week. Same channel, 7:30. Bye.
Naked sweeties.
It's friendly fingers.
Friendly fingers. Piss flaps. Soggy flip flaps.
Okay, flaps.
Flip flaps. I don't know what flip flap is.
Fish flaps.
It's a cross between piss flaps and flip flops. Flip flops.
What does that make your feet smell fishy?
Oh, no.